Or
No rain.
hello YouTube and welcome to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez here for the Mexican Grand Prix. This has a godly front stretch and 16 technical corners. It's going to be a fun. Lando Norris is the first driver to head on out on an out lap. You'll have to see it. We have 22 laps of qualifying, not 18 minutes. Yes, we have 18 minutes for 20 drivers to set the 20 fastest times of their lives here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. The early birds of the qualifying session consist of Lando Norris, Malenko, Pierre Gasly, Alexander Albon, Daniel Kvyat, Max Verstappen, Tyler Markle, Carlos Sainz. Those drivers on out laps and they're heading their way around to set their first timed lap.
Why are you staying behind me?
Along with them, Kimi Räikkönen and George Russell. Lando Norris, through the stadium section we go. And onto the backwards oval. And on to the start, finish straight. Here we go. Lando Norris starts the first timed lap of the session. Lando Norris into the famed S sections. Watch for the Renault drivers to cut this S section in half. We cut in this section so much you'll see time penalties left and right. Anyway, in the news, Lando Norris coming through the stadium section now. Onto the front straightaway, Lando Norris setting the first time lap of the session, and it will be a 1:16.082. Right now, top of the charts is the only car on the charts. Following him will be Daniel Kvyat, a 1:15.869. Pierre Gasly tops that. Max Verstappen tops that at 1:15.185. Sainz goes 4th quickest. Albon goes 6th quickest. Markle goes 2nd quickest, and Malenko goes 2nd quickest. A 1:15.200 for Malenko, and a .207 for Markle. 7 1/1000ths of a second separates the Renault drivers, who almost come close to colliding. George Russell 8th quickest, Räikkönen 9th quickest. Robert Kubica, Sebastian Vettel on timed laps, Kevin Magnussen, Sergio Perez, Lance Stroll on out laps, Valtteri Bottas on an out lap, Romain Grosjean on an out lap. Sebastian Vettel easily could be hindered on his lap here on board with Vettel now. We'll see he's catching Magnussen with a full head of steam. Oh, that's a bad section for Vettel to be catching Magnussen. A lot of cars in front of him. Verstappen back to the pits. Right now, top of the charts, Max Verstappen. Magnussen just cut off Vettel. Vettel trying to set a timed lap here, having to pass Kevin Magnussen, and Magnussen's taking away Vettel's preferred line. Vettel has to battle on his time lap. He's still side by side with Magnussen. This is also hurting Magnussen's lap. Finally, Vettel clears Magnussen in an absolute destruction of a lap, a 1:17.336. slowest on the charts, even slower than Robert's Kubica. Absolute destruction of a timed lap. Now Leclerc and Hamilton on out laps. Perez, Stroll, Magnussen, Bottas, and Giovinazzi on timed laps, and Grosjean. And Hamilton's now on a timed lap. Now we await Charles Leclerc. Leclerc will be the last driver to set the timed lap in the first round of qualifying times.
I know.
So Valtteri Bottas onto the start-finish straight. He goes 10th quickest. Stroll is 14th quickest. Grosjean is 8th quickest. Giovinazzi 16th quickest. Hamilton to the start-finish line. Hamilton will go 5th quickest. Charles Leclerc for caution in sector 1. I believe that's Malenko who's on an outlap. Leclerc coming to the start-finish straight. Leclerc will go 6th quickest. Wow, so it's Renaults and Red Bulls that top the charts. Malenko and Markle out on outlaps now. So these Renault drivers are going to give it another go while these guys are heading back to the pit lane. Still a very busy track. Most of the field's still out there. But they're heading back to the pit lane now. So here comes Malenko on a hot lap. We'll see Malenko's hot lap at Mexico now. Malenko fighting understeer or oversteer on the exit of that corner. Trying to keep the car under. Markle right now tracking in the red. Malenko trying to give everything he's got through the S's. Malenko also tracking in the red. Malenko also takes a pylon out for good measure to the start-finish line. Here comes Malenko. Malenko goes a 1:15.144, top of the charts for that Renault for Malenko. Markle trying to replicate the same. And Markle goes second. A 1:15.174. That is 11 1/1000ths faster than Max Verstappen.
This track is ass in certain turns.
Just think that NASCAR used to race here.
I feel like that'd be fun to watch, but
It was
just
fun. I wish they had it on project cars.
It was the Pinty series, right? I think that's what it's called.
No, the Nationwide Series used to race at Mexico.
Oh, I did not pay attention.
Also, Pinty's is Canada.
For some reason, I thought they raced in Mexico.
It's yeah, it's the Peak Toyota Series.
Like, what
The Peak Toyota Series races in Mexico.
Are you still here, Melanka?
He's lagging a boatload.
Because I thought you were still in front of me when I was driving.
Malenko back to the pit lane, and we're gonna get a quiet Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez circuit. As the Renaults double stack, here comes a Red Bull, and Lando Norris is on an out lap. Pierre Gasly heading down the pit lane now, followed by a Toro Rosso. So Lando Norris on an out lap. Here comes Pierre Gasly on an out lap. Followed by Gasly is Alexander Albon on an out lap. So this is the second go of lap times for most of these guys. 18 drivers still have yet to set a second timed lap of the session. So right now, does Malenko and Marco's first and second times stand, or do they go out and try once more? Lando Norris on an out lap now. Right now sat 11th quickest. Pierre Gasly sat 4th quickest, and Albon sat 16th quickest. They're on out laps to try to change where they are now. Gasly right now 1.2 tenths off the pole time. Can he change that? Lando Norris coming to the start finish line now. He's starting a timed lap. Here comes Tyler Markle to try again once more for a pole. Right now, Pierre Gasly trying to take over the pole. We're riding on board with Gasly. Albon, Norris, and Gasly on timed laps. Malenko and Markle on out laps once more. Cautions in Sector 1. That's for, I believe, Malenko. Or Markle, because Malenko's just approaching the straightaway now that he'd be slow on. So on board with Pierre Gasly, it says he's on an out lap, but he definitely is on a timed lap. So, Lando Norris goes 9th quickest. Marco's on a timed lap now. Here comes Pierre Gasly. Gasly will go. He will not improve. Alexander Albon to the start-finish line is also 16th quickest. On board with Marco now. Malenko's on an out lap. Coming to the start-finish line. Malenko starting his timed lap. So Marco trying to improve upon his time, maybe try to take pole from his teammate. Pierre Gasly was not able to improve on his 4th position time at the moment. George Russell on an out lap. How about that? George Russell sat 12th right now. You love to see that for the Williams team. Kvyat coming out 8th on an out lap. How about that also? George Russell is ahead of Valtteri Bottas on the timesheet. That is something. But also, Robert Kubica is ahead of Sebastian Vettel on the timesheet, and we know Vettel was destroyed by Magnussen. Marco goes top of the charts, a 1:14.741. Here comes Malenko. Can he top that? Malenko coming through the final 2 corners, turns 15 and 16 to the start finish line. Absolutely blazing. Malenko goes a 1:14.306.
Man, how much did you cut the corners?
I didn't get a single warning that entire lap.
Oh, fuck.
I think I got one warning.
At least trying to make sure I don't cut that much shit.
Max Verstappen's on an outlap. He's trying to go for pole once more. Leclerc on an outlap. Sainz on an outlap. Kvyat, Russell on timed laps. Robert Kubica on a timed lap. How about George Russell right now trying to improve upon his 12th place starting spot at the moment? What a field they'd be if George Russell could start inside the top 10. Caution in sectors 1, 2, and 3. Max Verstappen on a flyer, tracking right now 66 1/1000ths in the green, but he's going to need more than that to take pole. Tracking 2/10 in the green. It's not going to be enough, but he is trying to break into the 114 brackets. Can he at least maybe get second here? We'll see what Verstappen can do. Verstappen to the start finish line. He will go a 1:14.951. Gasly on an outlap. He's trying again. Hamilton on an outlap and is lagging. Leclerc goes through Hamilton. Kvyat on a time lap. George Russell, I believe he set his timed lap. Russell right now sat 12th quickest. We'll see where Sebastian Vettel can put himself on the timesheet. Now Gasly, Hamilton, Leclerc, Perez, Norris, Sainz, Bottas, Albon, Stroll on outlaps. Everybody else is on timed laps for the most part. The Renault drivers, they pulled it into the pit lane. It's time to see where they line up compared to everybody else. And how about that? Sebastian Vettel will be 6th in qualifying. So Malenko, Markle, Verstappen, Hamilton, Gasly, Vettel, Leclerc, Bottas, Kvyat, Perez. Your top 10.
Well,
wow.
Russell outdid with nothing was Magnussen and Elbow.
Russell was 12th, and 15th is still a decent starting spot for George Russell. How about that?
Getting Kvyat outperformed that car again. I might overperformed, whatever.
So here we go for the Grand Prix here in Mexico, the Mexican Grand Prix.
It's a two-stopper. This is 36 laps.
A 36-lap Mexican Grand Prix, but it's a short circuit. So we have 36. We have 36 laps, but we go on the most important lap, the formation lap. So here we go. Let's go through the running order. Just a moment. All right, let's go through our starting lineup here. So on the front row, it is a Renault front row between Malenko starting on the pole and Markle starting second. In row 2, we have the Red Bull of Max Verstappen starting alongside of him, the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. In row 3, it's the Red Bull of Pierre Gasly, and here we are, Ferraris near the front as they should be, Sebastian Vettel starting 6th. In row 4, Also with Ferrari, Charles Leclerc starts 7th, and alongside of him, the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas starts 8th. In row 5, the Toro Rosso of Daniel Kvyat, alongside him, the Racing Point of Sergio Perez. In row 6, it's an all-McLaren row. Lando Norris starts 11th, Carlos Sainz starts 12th. In row 7, the Haas of Romain Grosjean starts 13th, and alongside of him, the Racing Point starts 14th. That's Lance Stroll. In row 8, starting 15th, the Williams of George Russell, and beside him, the Haas of Kevin Magnussen. Row 9, it is an all Alfa Romeo row. Antonio Giovinazzi 17th, Kimi Räikkönen 18th, and in row 10, Alexander Albon from Toro Rosso starts 19th, and alongside of him, Robert Kubica starts 20th. This track is so short, we didn't get a chance to speak to the drivers, but we know they are pumped and ready to go. Right now, Hamilton has a 54-point lead over second place Malenko. It's time to change that. Malenko right now starts 3 spots ahead of Hamilton. 4 spots ahead of Hamilton. So we'll see if he can capitalize on it. And Hamilton may not get such great start would help them greatly as well. So the 20 drivers onto the front stretch, gridding them up and ready to go here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for the Mexican Grand Prix. 36 laps, and it's time to bring the action. Here we go. The lights are on, and it's 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. The Renaults are off and away, and there's cars already scattering in the back. Hamilton trying to get an amazing start here, trying to get to the inside of Malenko. They're going 4 wide for the race lead. Look at Verstappen on the outside of the Renaults. 4 wide, Renault, Mercedes for Red Bull, and Malenko shoots through, going wide on the exit. Verstappen the second, trying to get around Markle. Markle trying to get around Verstappen, around goes Markle. Leclerc the third, Gasly the fourth, Hamilton the fifth, and Vettel the sixth.
Man.
Leclerc with a monstrous start.
Fuck you, Red Bull. Some kind negative. Yes.
Battling going on further back. Sainz, Kvyat for 8th. Norris, Perez for 10th. Through the F's as we go. Kvyat clears Sainz. Norris clears Perez. Russell up to 12th. Looking for Perez and Norris. 11th and 10th. The Haas duo 13th and 14th. Giovinazzi the 15th over Stroll. Markle to 19th, and he's up to down into the corner. He's gaining a couple spots right there. Markle up to 17th, making contact with Räikkönen. Malenko sets the fastest lap of 120.892 on the soft compound in that Renault. It is the opening lap, and Malenko now trying to defend against Max Verstappen. Who's it coming? Heading in the next group, Charles Leclerc heads Pierre Gasly, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, and Valtteri Bottas. Markle trying to work his way up the running order. Here we go. He did not gain any spots on the front stretch. Now to gain Lance Stroll here, diving to the inside of Stroll under braking, making contact with the Racing Point.
What the fuck you, Stroll?
Markle to 16th, now looking for his way on Giovinazzi. Verstappen still all over the box of that Renault. Malenko trying to hold on to the race lead, takes out a pylon for good measure. Markle to 15th. Verstappen with the fastest lap, a 1:19.195. Verstappen with the slipstream all the way down the straightaway, following the Renault. All the way back up the track they go. DRS and slipstream gonna really hook Verstappen, close the gap to Malenko. Into the chicane we go. Verstappen's gonna have another shot down this straightaway on Malenko. Gets a great exit on Malenko. Malenko's got to play some defense here. Down to second straightaway. Here we go into turn number 3 or 4. Malenko closes the door on Verstappen. Verstappen still hangs tough on the outside. Now Malenko closes the door. Down to turn 6. Hamilton the 4th on Pierre Gasly. Vettel not able to take advantage of that, nor was Bottas. Marco the 15th still. Malco now opens the gap to Max Verstappen a little bit more. Leclerc trying to join the fun. Hamilton trying to keep on Leclerc. Vettel goes to 5th on Gasly. You're trying to clear Gasly now into the stadium section. Now Vettel clears Gasly and sets his sights on Lewis Hamilton. Marco to 14th. Max Verstappen, slipstream and DRS trying to close the gap to Malenko. All over the gearbox through the chicane. Turns 1, 2, and 3 and onto the straightaway. Malenko again playing heavy defense against Max Verstappen. Heading their way to turn number 4. Verstappen doesn't lunge to the inside. Malenko not able to really open any gap until he got to the second part of the S's, but he's still being trailed by Verstappen, and Verstappen slipstreaming and gaining on Malenko. Into the stadium section they go. Hamilton looking now on Leclerc. Marco the 12th. Albon the 17th over Giovinazzi, and Verstappen with a huge run on Malenko. He's going to have a go on him now, not even the DRS yet. To the outside of Malenko he goes, and now he's got DRS. Hamilton the 3rd over Leclerc. And Verstappen's got DRS and looking to join that battle as well. Vettel looking to gain on Leclerc and Hamilton. Malenko trying to fight back and try to keep the lead within sight. Max Verstappen right now in the Red Bull currently holds it. Marco holding station in 12th. Russell gets passed by Grosjean for 13th. Russell back to 14th. Raikkonen and Magnussen going toe-to-toe for 15th. Malenko on a mission, just trying to stay within a second of Verstappen to have a chance. And now Vettel looks on Leclerc. He's got to get around Leclerc quick if he wants a shot at Hamilton. And Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap, a 1:19.139 for Lewis Hamilton. He's a coming. Malenko's got DRS, but he's still not really closing the gap to Verstappen. Now he just gets it in under 1 second on Verstappen. Vettel the 4th, Bottas the 5th, and Leclerc loses 2 spots down the front stretch. Vettel's not going to play defense on Bottas. The good thing is Vettel will have DRS. And he's looking for Hamilton. While Malenko's just trying to stay within 1 second of Verstappen, really trying his heart out. He knows he's got to capitalize because the car behind Malenko right now is points leader Hamilton. And Malenko's at least got to close it within 2 points. And a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners for Malenko. And rightfully so, he is all over the curbs and not on the track at all through the S's pretty much. Into the stadium section we go. Malenko now closing the gap to Verstappen once again. Trying to stay with Verstappen. Onto the front stretch. Verstappen gets a great exit and opens up the gap once again. But this time Malenko's closer. Marco up to 11th on Sergio Perez. Malenko now just trying to stay in the battle with Max Verstappen. Vettel trying to defend against Valtteri Bottas. This is for fourth. Bottas looking to the outside of Vettel. Vettel's just got to stay there and hope that he can clear Bottas and have another go to defend down the straightaway that he'll have DRS again. Vettel again on defense on Valtteri Bottas. Here comes Norris to the inside of Leclerc. Bottas to the outside of Vettel. Side by side again now. Vettel trying to hang tough on the outside and fight back against Valtteri, but Valtteri has preferred line through another 2 corners. Vettel fights back, still side by side for fourth. Vettel trying to clear Valtteri. Vettel will clear Valtteri. Meanwhile, Norris got around Leclerc. So Vettel clears Valtteri again for fourth. Norris in sixth, looking to join the battle for fourth between Vettel and Bottas. Meanwhile, Hamilton's gaining on that battle and trying to maybe have a shot at the lead here as Verstappen and Malenko go toe-to-toe once again. Verstappen got a great exit that time and was going to open up the gap now to Malenko. Malenko using slipstream and DRS now, but just trying to keep within 1 second to the next pit stop. So Malenko still trailing Verstappen. Hamilton closing the gap to now 2.7 seconds on between himself and Verstappen. Bottas back to fourth on Sebastian Vettel.
Okay.
And Marco goes around and breaks the wing, trying to get back going.
It was already broken. Awesome race. Awesome.
And Verstappen and Malenko to the pit lane. Hamilton stays out.
I know it is.
Valtteri does as well. Vettel to third. Norris fourth. Leclerc, Sainz. It's only Verstappen and Malenko who pit.
We can still get points. We can do this.
Verstappen fits the hards. Malenko fits the mediums. Again. And Malenko's going to be racing on the pit exit. Marco to the pit lane now. Verstappen dropped in the middle of a battle going on right now for the 13th position between Albon, Magnussen, Stroll himself, Robert Kubica, and Malenko. Malenko diving to the inside of Kubica, trying to get to the inside of Verstappen. That's the theoretical battle for the lead. And around the outside of Verstappen, he's trying to go. Malenko clear Verstappen. That's the theoretical lead down in the 16th position. Back up front, Lewis Hamilton leads Valtteri Bottas, Sebastian Vettel, Lando Norris. Here we go. Pit lane this time by who pits? Malenko to 15th. Here comes Hamilton. Bottas stays out. Vettel should be coming. He does. Along with Lando Norris. Leclerc stays out. Here comes Romain Grosjean and Sergio Perez. And Hamilton will come out behind Malenko and Verstappen, which is the theoretical battle for the lead. Verstappen trying to get around Lance Stroll once again. Malenko to 9th on Magnussen. Now Bottas leads Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly, Kvyat, George Russell 6th, Raikkonen, and Albon. Malenko right now sat in 9th.
I may not catch up. 37.9 seconds. Holy shit.
Malenko on the aggressive dive into the inside of Alexander Albon. He'll clear Albon for 8th. Bottas, Leclerc into the pit lane. Sainz as well. Gasly, Kvyat. George Russell is going to the race lead. George Russell for Williams is leading Kimi Räikkönen, Malenko, Alexander Albon, and Max Verstappen. Malenko diving to the inside of Räikkönen. Malenko clear of Räikkönen for 2nd. And George Russell has a 5-second lead over Malenko. Never thought I'd say that. And Tyler Markle the fastest lap of 1:17.977. As we expected, George Russell quickly losing his lead to the Renault of Malenko. But how about that, still coming around, he's going to lead an entire lap here at Mexico. George Russell into the stadium section we go. He's coming into the final 2 corners. And he's not pitting, that's right. He's on the medium, so he'll lead another lap. Russell and Albon, they're on a different strategy. So right now, Russell and Albon on the podium, Raikkonen into the pit lane. Verstappen goes to 4th, he's on the hards. Stroll pits as well, that puts Kubica to 5th, Vettel to 6th. Vettel right now heading an entire queue that has Kubica, Norris, Hamilton, and Bottas and Leclerc. So Vettel to 5th, Norris to 6th, Kubica back to 7th. Kubica now trying to fend off Lewis Hamilton. Again, never thought I'd say that. For position. All good things come to an end. Malenko's trying to make sure Russell does not lead a 3rd lap here at Mexico, and he's quickly coming. It's gonna be all over George Russell in the stadium section here. He's got to find a way around him. Actually, Russell, I think, will be able to come and lead the 3rd lap of his career here. He will lead 3 laps, and that's about all she wrote, because Malenko is gonna get DRS and fly right by George Russell. But how about that? Malenko has to pass George Russell for the race lead. Dive into the inside of George Russell. Into turn 1, Malenko clears Russell for the lead. Albon right now fending off Verstappen for 3rd. Vettel right now has opened up a gap to never mind, Lando Norris is right there, but Norris has opened up a gap to Lewis Hamilton for 6th. Markle to 19th on Giovinazzi, Raikkonen and Magnussen going toe-to-toe. Kubica right now trying to fend off Leclerc for 8th. Right now it would be a double Williams points day. That is insane. So Verstappen the 3rd on Albon. Albon trying to fight back on the inside, dive into the inside of Verstappen, but Verstappen clears Albon on the exit. George Russell to the pit lane now. All good things do come to an end. Russell led 3 laps, now comes to the pit lane now. Alexander Albon follows suit. We expect Kubica to stay out 1 more. And there goes Kubica. Russell's down and away on a set of mediums. Albon's down and away on a set of mediums. This is a 2-stop race, so we do expect these guys to pit once more. Those guys should be putting on softs to the end. now Malenko, 6.5 seconds on Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton is 11 seconds behind. That is what Malenko likes to hear. Hamilton right now running 5th to Malenko's first position right now. That would be 15 points subtracted off of Hamilton's 54-point gap at the top of the table at the moment. That's saying Malenko doesn't have the fastest lap. Right now Marco holds that, but we still have one more stop. Leclerc right now holding station 6. Gasly 7th. Pierre Gasly, Robert Kubica comes in the pit lane from 8th. Norris to 2nd on Max Verstappen. Sainz to 8th, and they're going 3 wide. Bottas trying to get a 2-for-1 special on Kvyat and Sainz, and Bottas goes to 8th. Not clear of Sainz yet. Bottas and Sainz, they're going toe-to-toe for 8. Verstappen, Norris, they're side-by-side for 2nd, and Vettel's there as well. Vettel wants 2nd, or at least a spot on the podium. Norris slipping and sliding in front of Verstappen. Vettel's there. This is going to allow Hamilton to catch up, which is what Malenko doesn't want to hear. Verstappen now looking to the outside of Norris, now looking for the crossover on Norris. Vettel hanging right there as well. Norris is not going to have DRS here right now, running 2nd, and Verstappen and Vettel will. Vettel may be looking for a 2-for-1 special on this front stretch. Here we go, onto the front stretch. This is going on 9 seconds behind Malenko. And Hamilton is there as well. He's going to have, I believe, DRS on Vettel. He did not, I don't think. But Norris hangs on to 2nd over both Verstappen and Vettel. And now Hamilton's really going to have something to say. Norris still holding station above Verstappen. That McLaren's fast. Never thought I'd say that in a few years. Norris has got the straightaway speed to stay in front of the Red Bull, the Ferrari, and the Mercedes. So right now, Norris heads a Q, followed by Verstappen, Vettel, Hamilton. Leclerc wants in on that action, but Leclerc is nearly 4 seconds behind it. And now it's a 3-car battle for third as Norris starting to tiptoe away from Verstappen. Vettel's looking for a way around Verstappen. Again, Verstappen's on the hards, and maybe trying to go to the end on those tires, while Vettel trying to get around Verstappen as soon as possible.
What the fuck? Is it let? There goes my wing again. Fuck this thing.
Marco's had a run-in with somebody there. Vettel to third on Verstappen. Hamilton still in 5th. Verstappen now tries to get Vettel back, but again Vettel will have DRS and looks to close the gap to Lando Norris, and he will do so. Verstappen also has DRS on Vettel. I'm assuming he had the DRS on Norris originally. So now Vettel tries to close that queue back up to Lando Norris. Hamilton hanging there in 5th. As we approach the halfway laps of this Mexican Grand Prix, Kvyat to 8th on Valtteri Bottas.
I probably can't afford to fix the wing again.
Now caution in Sector 2.
No, Marco, we can't afford to fix another wing. How many we've fixed at Spa and all the other races, we're over budget.
Kevin Magnussen has an issue.
I'm talking
Kevin
about me
Magnussen
and where I meant position,
is
Malika.
pulling
we're
off to the
over
track.
budget, Marco.
And Kevin Magnussen is done.
It lagged on me, so I can't do shit about it.
We didn't bring any more wings to the track, Michael.
Oh well. Fucking steal somebody's.
We're
Bottas
just
and
gonna
Kvyat.
probably ask our steward to probably tape that bitch back on.
And now Magnussen is still there. There's yellows on either side of him. I doubt it's going to bring out a safety car or a VSC. There goes Malenko going by. Now Vettel looking to the inside of Norris. Vettel looking for second on Lando Norris. Vettel clear of Lando Norris. To second he goes. Several weeks of seeing Vettel outside the top 10. He's coming back and right now in second position. And should something happen to right now in front of him, could win this Grand Prix. Hamilton looking to the inside of Verstappen. Norris to the outside of Vettel. Hamilton looking to get around Verstappen once more. Verstappen fights back and clears Hamilton on the outside. Vettel holds on to second over Norris. Kvyat going at it for 8th on Sainz. Bottas is there as well, looking at this battle. Sainz looking to the outside of Kvyat. Bottas looking to the outside of Sainz. And clear Sainz, that's Bottas to 9th. So Hamilton, huge run on Verstappen. Verstappen looking to the outside of Norris. They're going 3 wide for 3rd. They're still 3 wide. Hamilton gets shoveled back to 5th. Norris trying to hold on to 3rd on Verstappen. And he will do so. All this going on behind Sebastian Vettel. Vettel's pulled over a second now on Lando Norris. So Vettel only has to worry about the Renault in front of him, and he is gaining on that Renault. George Russell to 12th over Romain Grosjean. Here comes Verstappen to the outside of Norris. Leclerc has joined the party. Verstappen on the inside of Norris. Side by side. Onto the front straightaway we go once more. The gap is 8 seconds between Malenko and Vettel now. Verstappen to the inside of Norris, Hamilton following Verstappen, Leclerc following Hamilton, 3 wide for 4th, maybe 4 wide, no, we're 3 wide for 3rd. Verstappen trying to shoot through, Hamilton fighting back, Leclerc trying to get around Norris for 5th, they make contact, Norris trying to hold on to 5th, Leclerc fighting on the outside, has the preferred line for the next corner, Verstappen loses the spot to Hamilton, Hamilton back to 3rd. Leclerc fighting Norris hard. Leclerc trying to get 5th from Lando Norris and trying to clear him. Leclerc does clear Lando Norris. Sergio Perez gets around Valtteri Bottas for 9th. Seven and a half seconds is the gap now between Vettel and Malenko. And Vettel continues to close the gap. 7 1/3 of a second. And Daniel Kvyat to the pit lane on his soft tires. Kvyat most likely going to the mediums to the end. There goes Kvyat putting on a set of mediums. Fresh mediums for Kvyat. Norris back to 5th on Leclerc. And the gaggle of cars that George Russell is overtaking Valtteri Bottas for the 9th position. Yes, you heard me right. George Russell overtook Valtteri Bottas for the 9th position, looking for Sergio Perez for the 8th position. Malik going to the pit lane now. Sebastian Vettel in as well. Lewis Hamilton is in. Max Verstappen stays out. I believe that means Gasly's coming in. Norris is in. Gasly stays out. Leclerc stays out. Obviously, Vettel made it to the pit lane. Valtteri Bottas back out in front of George Russell for 5th. So Malika long clear of anybody who pitted with him. Sebastian Vettel back in 8th, mired behind Alexander Albon. 9-lap old mediums. Hamilton being held up by Carlos Sainz with 12-lap old mediums. Vettel to the inside of Albon, that is for 7th. Malika looking to get around Pierre Gasly as Gasly heads to the pit lane. Verstappen is in as well. Are they stacking? Verstappen's out and away, Gasly's in. They had the tire somewhat ready. That was close enough to make it work. Valtteri's in. Carlos Sainz is in. Here comes Lance Stroll. Antonio Giovinazzi's in. So Charles Leclerc to the race lead. 5.5 seconds over Malika. George Russell on the podium as we speak. Sebastian Vettel looking to get to George Russell for 3rd. Alexander Albon in 5th, holding up Lewis Hamilton. Sat in 6th, trying to fend off Max Verstappen in 7th. Lando Norris is hungry and a coming in 8th. Pierre Gasly out there in 9th. Daniel Kvyat in 10th. Hamilton did get around Albon. Malika sets the fastest lap, a 1:17.507 on the medium compound in that Renault. Looks to be gaining. Vettel now on George Russell. And Marco has a 3-second time penalty for multiple corner cuts and exceeding track limits. Vettel to 3rd on Russell. So it's a double Ferrari podium as we speak. Obviously, Leclerc cannot make it to the end on his set of tires. Or is he trying? Or maybe Leclerc is going as long as he can to go to the soft tire. That would be an interesting strategy and a very viable one.
Or he could have started on the mediums and he's taking this mediums long because he went long on the first end.
Well, then he'd still have to go to the soft tire. And Leclerc's in now. Here he goes into a stall, and that's what I said. They're putting on the softs on that Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel goes to second. Leclerc coming out right now. George Russell goes back to the podium in third. Hamilton to fourth. Albon, Verstappen fifth and sixth. Norris to seventh. Leclerc coming out eighth. Verstappen to fifth on Alexander Albon. Hamilton looks to get around George Russell for third. Robert Kubica right now, 12. Markle gets around Kubica for 12th. The strategy-filled Mexican Grand Prix still has some more strategy to come. We're still awaiting George Russell, Alexander Albon, Robert Kubica to come into the pit lane and more than likely fit a set of softs. I believe those are the guys who started on mediums. Valtteri Bottas mired all the way back in 14th. Verstappen to fourth, Russell to pit lane. Albon in as well. Here they come for their softs. Norris to fifth. Robert Kubica stays out. Kubica goes to 11th. Markle into the points. And he can see Sergio Perez in front of him. So, up front, Malenko has a 9.5 second lead over Sebastian Vettel. 15 seconds back of Malenko. Number 5 seconds back of Vettel is Lewis Hamilton in third. Verstappen in fourth. Trying to close the gap to Hamilton to have a shot. He is nearing 1 second of within Hamilton to try to get DRS. I think they're coming to DRS detection now and it's going to be close. I believe Verstappen got there. We'll see now onto the front stretch. Does Verstappen have a shot at Hamilton? That back wing is not open on the Red Bull, but he is closing now with the slipstream. Leclerc fifth, long clear of Norris in sixth. Kubica to the pit lane. Kvyat Gasly going for seventh. Sergio Perez right now ninth. Tyler Markle 10th, looking to close the gap to Perez and maybe get Kvyat and Gasly before this one is over. Verstappen's a-coming on Lewis Hamilton. Now Verstappen onto the front stretch, slipstream and DRS on Lewis Hamilton. Here goes Verstappen, diving to the inside of Hamilton. Clears Hamilton easily. He'll have DRS on him on the next straightaway as well. So Verstappen may be trying to open a gap now on Hamilton. There goes Verstappen with the DRS. Hamilton with the slipstream trying to close the gap. Verstappen still opening up the gap. Into the corner they go. Verstappen hanging tough now third. Leclerc maybe trying to get to Hamilton. Maybe Leclerc for a podium. Right now, 2 Ferraris in the top 5. Also remember, Leclerc has 3 lap fresher tires than everybody in front of him. And is on a softer compound. So don't count Leclerc off the podium just yet. Raikkonen to 14th over Grosjean. Marco now closing the gap to Sergio Perez, looking to the outside here into the stadium section. Gasly and Norris going toe-to-toe for 6th. Kvyat is there as well. It's a 3-car battle for 6th. Hamilton back to 3rd on Verstappen. Leclerc is coming as well. 3 cars going toe-to-toe for 6th. 3 wide for 6th. Norris clear. Not clear. Kvyat to the side of Gasly. Norris now clear of 6th. Gasly and Norris going at it. Marco to 9th on Perez. And he sets his sights at least 6th place.
As long as I can pull away 3 seconds.
So now Marco sets his sights on the 3 cars insanely battling, aggressively battling in front of him. Marco diving to the inside of Gasly, making contact with him, trying to clear Gasly. He will do so. Now he's going to the outside of Norris. Verstappen and Hamilton still going at it for 3rd, for the podium. Leclerc is coming. Marco clear of Norris and Gasly. Marco now sets his sights on Kvyat. Perez now looking from 10th, looking for 8th on Norris. Marco looking to the outside of Kvyat. It's a 5-car battle for 6th now as Gasly and Norris try to close the gap and string Perez up here. Marco looking to the outside of Kvyat. Still side by side with Kvyat. Kvyat fighting strong on the outside. They make contact. Marco trying to hold on to it. Still side by side to the double right-hander. Marco now with the advantage and clears Kvyat into the S's. Leclerc is coming on Hamilton. They're coming around to 5 laps to go. And this is going to be a good battle for the podium spot, the final podium spot. Gasly to 7 on Kvyat. Marco, he sets his sights now to just gain the 3 seconds that he has to on the cars behind him. That should be easy as they continue to battle behind him. Kvyat and Gasly.
Oh my God, they're gonna give it to me. Jeez. Broken wing.
Marco sets his sights for 6th, and that is about it because Leclerc is another 15 seconds ahead of him. And Leclerc is looking for 3rd. Back up front, Malenko, 9 seconds long, clear of Sebastian Vettel, has a 3-second time penalty, which will make it back to 6 seconds. Verstappen trying to fend off Lewis Hamilton. Leclerc trying to close that time to have a shot at a podium spot. 4 laps to go at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. And Marco another 3-second time penalty. He's got 3 seconds clear of Gasly. He's not going to get another 3 seconds clear of Gasly.
Come on, tires, we can do this. Yep, exactly. 3 seconds. Come on, Perez. Or whoever the force you is right there. Racing point. Pass him.
Sound like Raikkonen right there. Whatever they're called now.
Yes, they're battling.
Perez to 7th on Kvyat. And Kvyat now trying to hold on to 8th from Gasly. Perez clears Kvyat by a mile.
3.2. Yep, I'm gonna lose position.
Leclerc now looking at Lewis Hamilton.
There's people catching up to F.
How about this? George Russell right now sat 12th on 3-lap fresher tires and softer tires than the cars in front of him, and it's Norris and Sainz that are within range. George Russell could get points out of this day. Charles Leclerc battling Lewis Hamilton. Up to 4th goes Leclerc, sets his sights on Max Verstappen for 3rd, trying to make it a double Ferrari podium.
3.4, god damn it. We're not gonna get points.
Sainz and Norris, they're going toe-to-toe. George Russell to 11th, fighting Norris right now for 11th. And George Russell is clear of Lando. Norris now sets his sights on
3.8.
Carlos Sainz for a point. Leclerc now looks to Max Verstappen. Two laps to go.
.65.
2 laps to go, and Leclerc's got the DRS on Verstappen. Looking to the outside now. Heading to turn 1. Trying to make it a double Ferrari podium. Verstappen holds on to 3rd. Leclerc trying to get back to Verstappen. Now Hamilton to 4th. Vettel's now close at the 7.6 seconds.
3.6, yep, I lost all those positions, those 3 behind me. Damn it.
Leclerc has one more hoorah at a podium position. Here we go, onto the final lap. 1 lap to go in the Mexican Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel looks like to be long clear of 2nd. Leclerc now looking for Hamilton and Verstappen.
3.8. Had the game 2 seconds somehow on this final lap.
Leclerc looking to gate on Hamilton. Hamilton looking to gate on Verstappen. Nose to tail into turn 1. Who's gonna finish on the podium in Mexico?
4 seconds. They're battling.
Leclerc looking to the outside of Hamilton. There's still nose to tail. Verstappen trying to hold on to the 3rd position. Coming to the final set of corners, the final S's. Vettel now closes it down to 6 seconds. What a heartbreak it'd be if Malenko got another 3-second time penalty. But he's nursed the car home. See, 6 seconds over Sebastian Vettel. Another 3-second time penalty will make it less than 3 seconds. The gap between Malenko and Sebastian Vettel. Vettel closed it down to 5 seconds there at the end. 2 seconds is the gap between Malico and Vettel. Verstappen holds on to third. Hamilton fourth. Leclerc fifth. Tyler Markle trying to open the gap. 6 seconds to 7th place. Right now, riding 6th. I don't think it will be enough. He tried with all his might. It's 4.5 seconds. And Markle comes 9th.
2 out of 3 races won, baby.
And how about that? Malico, Vettel, and Verstappen. Your podium.
5 wins on the season.
And that now, Hamilton finishes 4th. So that means Malico gets 13 points plus the fastest lap. So 14 points added to his total. And closes the lead down to 40 points between Hamilton and himself. Vettel also adds some points to his total. I don't know about championship contention for Sebastian Vettel, but after those abysmal performances of 12th for most of the season, right now getting back to where Ferrari should be, it's going to help a lot. Malico's now closed the point lead down to 40 points between Hamilton and himself. Verstappen 55 back. Leclerc 64 back. And Markle 84 back. Pierre Gasly also breaks the 100 back bracket, making himself 88 back. Valtteri Bottas right now set 7th in points, 96 back. Sebastian Vettel 107th back in 8th. And everybody else is definitely not in contention for the championship.
Am I still 5th?
Take a look at the constructor standings. Mercedes still heads Renault. That is a 28-point gap Mercedes has over Renault. And we'll take a look at the Grand Prix results.
I'm 84 back. Damn.
Alright, so let's see. Malico, how about that? That was again a dominant performance. Were you afraid that you could gotten another 3-second time penalty and maybe given that win away to Vettel?
I wasn't worried about the another penalty. I was worried about because I was shit on once the tires got worn. It was just awful. Like the first, because soft run I did 16 on it, which was way too many, and I just stopped being able to run good at like lap 8 on the tires.
So it was just tires that you thought might give the win away to Vettel?
Yeah, as the tires wore, I was just so much slower.
So there, now you're 40 points back of Hamilton. You're heading to the United States. Is that a track you like, and do you think you can gain even more points on Hamilton?
Every track is well, all the tracks may be okay for me, but I don't know what the auto spin curves.
Alright,
If an auto spin curve is there, then it may fuck my ass.
There is the long sweeping right-hander. That may do it, but congratulations on the win. Now 40 points. You're still within 2 races of Hamilton, and still a long ways to go. So, yep. And until next time, we'll be here in Austin, Texas at Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix next time.